Okay, I have a Era KIK lock, 6-pin. The lock does work, very smooth. Okay, it is locked up. This is the bitting on the key. Now let's talk about the false set on these locks. There is probably a lot of debate on whether a lock comes into a false set or not, or whether it's just binding order. All these locks have a binding order, but you may have to get it into a false set before you can get the binding order right. So let's see if we can get this lock into a false set, and then we'll go from there. Let's see if we can get it turned. Okay, let's put a mark so we can see if the plug turns. Okay, let's use bottom of the keyway, and let's go with this pick. Let's go to the back of the lock. Okay, there was pin 5 and 4. There was 1. Okay, there was 2. Some more on 1. Let's go to the back. There's 6. See what we can do with 1. Feels like 1. Now let's go to the back of the lock again. Okay, now there's a false set. Now, if we it's turned slightly, just a little bit on the false set, it's here instead of here. Maybe you can get a close look at it and see. Okay, so it's turned that much. So if it goes into a false set, then that tells me one thing, that the lock is about ready to set again. Sound like we're getting some more rain, or about ready to open. So let's try pin 6. Alright, there it is, open on pin 6. So the false set tells me that it's ready to open, more or less. So per se, it may not be a false set, it may just be a binding order, but sometimes you do hit a false set and it will not open on the next pin because you need it in the false set to get that. Sounds like we're getting a little hail outside on the window and air conditioner, so we're having it pretty bad right now. Anyway, let's gut this lock, see what kind of pins are in the lock. But my way of thinking is that a false set is just really a something that we all talk about, how the lock works. But I know I like to recognize a false set to where that I can know that it's ready to open. Okay, let's get the clip off the back. Okay, there we go. Now let's see if we can now we're going to take it apart like this. Let's turn this up. Okay, there's pin 6. Okay, pin 5. Pin 4. Okay, that come out just like that. Okay, there's all 6 pins, and there is threading in the Bible, and there is threading in this, I believe, but all the pins are in and working. So let's see what anything has been done to the plug, and we'll take a close look at the pins. Okay, there is threading in all 6 chambers, and even a little bit of enlarging on this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. So 1, 2, 3, and 6 are enlarged a little bit at the top. 4 and 5 is just threaded. And there's threading in the Bible. You can see the threads in there with the springs, and it does have some regular springs in it with some steel springs. A couple of steel springs are in the Bible. But talking about false sets, I think it's just something we all talk about to make it sound good, but it does give me an indication that the lock is getting close to opening. This is a serrated spool, pin, sorry, key pin. 3 serrated key pins. This is a mushroom spool. This is similar to a trampoline pin. This is a little small serrated pin on 3. On 4, 5, and 6, you have serrated pins. This is like a acetype pin. This is a spool. This is another different kind of spool. Okay, that's what we have in this KIK lock. But a lot of times when you say you're in a false set, it doesn't open on the next pin. Sometimes it takes going to a false set before you can set a pin. Then after you set that pin, then you may have to go back and set the pin that puts you into the false set. It's probably a pin like Boston Bill calls the gatekeeper. So it's a gatekeeper for the lock, and you may have to reset that one pin 2 or 3 times during an opening to be able to get other pins to set. Okay, I appreciate your time. Please do not do anything illegal, and please stay out of trouble, and thank you again.